Tracking, alerting, protecting. This is WKYT News.
Good afternoon and welcome back to WKYT News. Bill Bryant and Barbara Bailey reporting.
Well, if you think it's cold today, just wait. We have an Arctic blast on the way, dropping temperatures into the teens and wind chills even lower than that. It's going to feel really cold.
Right. We begin with WKYT meteorologist Micah Harris and a look at the frigid forecast and what is coming. Micah?
Yeah, and it's a big blast of cold air. And I don't mean big. This is going to be the coldest air we have seen so far this winter. And we're looking outside right now, holding on to a few snowflakes up toward the northeast. No surprise there. So we talked about that yesterday. That's the best opportunity to actually see that. Florence in northern Kentucky sitting at 27. We're actually getting some peaks of sunshine here and there, especially southbound. Around here it's been mostly cloudy, cold. Our temperatures really aren't rising all that much. And today's talkers, as we go throughout the next several days, single-digit temperatures, and really Wednesday night into Thursday morning, we're talking about a goose egg, 0 degrees there as we make our way into Thursday morning. That puts our wind chills, because our winds are going to be cranking. We're talking about 15, 25 miles per hour, and that'll put our wind chills minus 10 to minus 20 degrees. That becomes pretty dangerous as we work away, especially through the morning hours, kiddos going off to the bus stop and whatnot. Also, we can't overlook this. We've been talking big about the wind chills, but also the snow showers. They'll be accompanied with that wind chill, and we'll go over the latest forecast when you can expect all this in your neck of the woods coming up in about 10 minutes.
Okay, we'll see you then, and thank you. And the frigid temperatures can quickly turn dangerous. Keep that in mind.
There are precautions you need to take and signs to watch for, especially if you'll be out in the cold for an extended period of time. WKYT's Sam Smith talks to a doctor. It's our top story at 12:30. Sam?
This morning, I talked with an ER doctor at UK Hospital. He says so far this winter, there have been no cases of hypothermia. Doctors, of course, hope to keep it that way. With the frigid cold temperatures we expect this week, they wouldn't be surprised if it happens. This suggests folks avoid exposure to the cold for long periods of time and for people to dress in layers. Exposed skin is vulnerable to frostbite. Also, they say avoiding excessive caffeine or alcohol will reduce risks for hypothermia. Some of the early signs of hypothermia include feeling cold and shivering. The hypothermia will then get worse and the shivering will stop and you can lose consciousness. Early stage hypothermia can be reversed by getting the person in a warm environment.
If the person is altered in any way, or if the person is somebody who's at the extremes of age, somebody very young or someone very old, or somebody with significant disease, then they need to be seen by a physician and not to be transported to the emergency department.
Now, when it's this cold, doctors are careful about discharging people that don't have a warm place to go. In Lexington, Sam Smith, WKYT.
Sam, thank you. Now, Lexington will open warming centers to help people get through the cold. We have information on WKYT.com. Volunteers race to open an emergency shelter in Clark County before the extreme cold arrives. Beacon of Hope in Winchester is now ready for those who need a warm place to sleep. The shelter will be open 24 hours a day to anyone who can provide a photo ID. Organizers hope the shelter will give people more than an escape from the temperatures.
This place here is just a place where they can come and find some hope.
The shelter hopes to offer GED classes and resume help soon. They're also working to bring in counselors who can help people break alcohol and drug addictions.
Well, we're not alone in this, and the weather in other parts of the nation is causing travel problems here in Lexington today. Several flights at Bluegrass Airport have been delayed throughout the morning. One was to Chicago. It was even canceled. We found one woman who's trying to get home to Texas. Her flight was delayed, and she says she's expecting even more delays at other airports on her trip home.
You know, you wait it out and eventually you get home. You know, lots of patience and read your book. That's the way it is.
As always, the airport recommends that you contact your airline before heading out just to see if there are any changes with your flight.
Other news today, a mother who admitted to tying up her 3-year-old learned her punishment today. Rebecca Medley, along with the girl's grandmother and stepfather, were arrested for the crime in 2012 in Anderson County. WKYT's Hillary Thornton was there for the sentencing.
She pleaded guilty back in September to tying up her 3-year-old daughter, and today Rebecca Medley learned she will spend several years behind bars, charged with first-degree criminal abuse. She was arrested back in August of 2012 along with her husband Herbert Medley and the child's grandmother Carolyn Case. Case pleaded guilty to an amended charge of second-degree criminal abuse and agreed to testify against the couple. According to court documents, Medley and Case say they began tying up the then 3-year-old in June of 2012 for up to 16 hours a day. They say they tied the child up because she began getting up in the middle of the night and trying to leave. The judge sentenced Rebecca Medley to 5 years, and she is not eligible for probation. Now Herbert Medley is scheduled for a pretrial conference in February. In Anderson County, Hillary Thornton, WKYT.
Now, the Medleys did not want to talk on camera. A woman accused in a 3-year-old's death made her first court appearance this morning. Shyla Rayleigh is charged with murder in Boyle County. Rayleigh's step-granddaughter, Alexa, died in June from blunt force trauma to her abdomen. Shyla Rayleigh's attorney entered a not guilty plea on her behalf. A judge set her bond at $1 million. She's due back in court February 3rd.
We now know the names of the 2 people killed in a head-on crash in Wayne County. The accident happened last night on the Highway 90 bypass in Monticello. State police say 67-year-old Betty Burnett crossed the center line and hit a pickup truck driven by 50-year-old Mark Hodges. Both drivers died at the scene. The cause of the accident under investigation this afternoon. And a horrible accident in Grayson County where a mother was walking with her daughter and was killed by a hit-and-run driver. That happened last night on Annetta Road south of Litchfield. State police say 47-year-old Jackie Vincent Hayes was walking with her daughter when she was hit by a car. Hayes died at the scene and her daughter was not hurt, fortunately. Police are still looking for the driver involved in the accident. Well, another reason why seniors should exercise and the best treatment for prostate cancer.
Ebony Williams has details in this Better Living report.
New research finds the combination of radiation and hormone therapy is the best way for older men to beat prostate cancer. Doctors at the University of Pennsylvania School of Medicine found the 2 treatments used together in men 76 and older reduced cancer deaths by nearly 50%. That's compared to men who only used hormone therapy. A new study in Great Britain reinforces the belief that exercise is important for seniors who want to stay physically strong. Researchers studied about 120 cyclists over age 55. Many had levels of cardiovascular, respiratory, and cognitive function comparable to younger adults. And obese adults who are considered healthy are at increased risk of developing heart problems and other health issues. Researchers in London found that so-called healthy obesity is a misleading concept and that most obese people become less healthy over time. That's a look at some of the day's top health stories. Ebony Williams, CBS News, New York.
And there is much more to come on WKYT News at 12:30. Lots of projects underway here in Lexington as the Metropolitan Planning Organization's hard at work. We'll hear about some of them.
Plus, how to be prepared if you see someone going into cardiac arrest. We have some important CPR tips coming up.